So Hot Toys is doing something really, really interesting and something that I've definitely been a fan of, and that is coming out with announcements for Hot Toys figures during the promotional build-up to the movie, as opposed to just announcing it after the movie's been out in theaters for a few weeks or months or whatever it has been. And we're going to take a look at a lot of the figures that they just announced over the past month, and all of these have been something that have been announced during the promotional build-up for the movie. We're going to take a look at these figures now, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on them. Let's jump into it. And you kind of take a look at this figure. Let's take a look at it real quick. We're going to take a look at a lot of figures here that have been announced over the past month. And this He-Man figure looks great. I mean, I think it looks really good. I think the body proportions look great. I think that the hair actually looks really good for sculpted hair. I personally really like the sculpted hair when it's like long hair like this. The sword looks really good. And again, to have figures that come out from Hot Toys from a movie is really exciting. Now, He-Man hasn't done what they probably wanted it to do when it came to the box office results, but I think we're pretty safe to still get these figures. I think there's a lot of interest from the toy community, from the collector community. Even people that aren't into 1/6 scale figures are really going to want to be collecting Motu, and you just see that all across the board. So again, the toy sales are going to be good for this product, even though the film didn't have as big of a box office opening as it would have liked. And that's what I find really interesting. That's what I kind of like what I'm seeing from Hot Toys, is that they are becoming part of the promotional process for a movie, especially a big summer movie. It makes total sense, right? Because a lot of times we go see a movie and we really want to get collectibles from it. We really want to get high-end collectibles from it, and it takes us years and years to finally get those in hand. With them kind of ramping this up a little faster, I feel like we're going to get these figures a little bit quicker, and that's really exciting. And again, this figure looks really good. I think the head sculpt looks great. I think Skeletor looks. We're going to take a look at him in a minute, but you can see them side by side. Really does look good. And this is something that's a bit of a, again, it depends on what kind of version you like, because we've seen the Mondo versions of these figures. If you want the more realistic thing for the movie, if you're a fan of this movie, even if you haven't seen the movie, these are iconic characters that you can have on your shelf. And again, the seamless silicone upper body, the arms and the legs, you can kind of see the highly detailed screen accurate clothing, and the highly detailed diorama. Now that's super sick. I didn't even know about this, so this is really cool. I'm kind of seeing this for the first time, and I think that's great. And you can kind of see everything that the figure comes with. And not only do we get He-Man, but we also get Skeletor. Like I said, Skeletor looking really good. You're going to want to get those two characters. These are probably the only characters we're going to get for the movie for Hot Toys. Unfortunately, if you were a big fan of the movie and you wanted to see some of those other characters, I was hoping that we'd get Idris Elba's head sculpt in a Hot Toys form and kind of get that character. I'm really hoping that we get one of the characters he's played relatively soon. If there's been something that's released that I'm unaware of, definitely let me know. But I just think this looks really, really good. And again, I don't want to kind of repeat myself, but this is more about the fact that Hot Toys is kind of trying to get production ramping up a little bit quicker, kind of getting movies that tie in. And I think that's the advantage that they have over some other companies, is right now that they can kind of tap into movies that are currently being promoted for this summer, movies that are coming out this year. If they can kind of ramp up the production to come out within the same year, that'd be great. We're seeing this with Mandalorian and Grogu. We're seeing this with Captain America Brave New World. We've seen these figures starting to come out and kind of release pretty fast. Now, does that mean they're making less of them? Probably, but we're seeing that more and more and more. So I just thought that this really looks good. Again, this Skeletor I think looks really solid. I think the body proportions look great. If you're not a big Jared Leto fan, you don't even have to worry about it because it was just a voice acting role. But Skeletor did a really, is really an iconic character, and somebody that, if I was to get collectibles for this movie, I would go with the Hot Toys versions over the Mondo, just because I like the way the live action versions look, and I think this really looks good and still captures the essence of Masters Universe while also being really cool. And again, that luminous effect for the UV luminous effect is super cool. Really like what I'm seeing with these diorama bases. I think these are must-have figures if you're a fan of Motu, if you're a Masters Universe collector, or you're just a collector of Hot Toys. I think this is a big win for all of us. And now we're going to take a look at another upcoming summer blockbuster, which is Supergirl. And we get the Supergirl and Crypto figure here. And if you got the Superman figure from last year, you're definitely going to want to pick up the Supergirl. I think those are going to look really great together. I actually really like Sasha Calle's Supergirl from the Flash movie. I think that figure looked amazing. But if you want Supergirl to pair with that Devin Cornsweet Superman figure, this is the way to go. Now again, we haven't seen this movie. So if you pre-order now, you're taking a risk on like, oh, if I'm going to like the movie. So if you're somebody who just wants to collect for movies you like, you might not pre-order this right away. But the fact that it's already up for pre-order, the fact that the prototype is already there and available to us and getting us hyped for the movie, I think is really, really cool. And I think that with this movie, you're seeing a lot of promotions starting to come out with it. And I'm starting to see that, with that June 26th release date, it's in a prime position to do very well at the box office. That is a very good release date with everything. It gets you about a week before the Minions movie comes out. It gets you a few weeks before the Odyssey comes out, Christopher Nolan's new summer blockbuster. It comes a few weeks after some of the bigger movies that have been taking the box office by storm, these indie horror films. And I think that what we're seeing here with this figure looks really cool. I love this Star-Lord kind of look for Supergirl. I really like the way this looks. I think the head sculpt is really solid personally. Again, I think the sculpted hair looks great. I'm more of a sculpted hair person for longer hair. I'm not saying I don't like artisans as well, but I just really like sculpted hair. And we see Lobo there, and we're going to kind of take a look at Lobo here in a minute. But the fact that we're getting these right out of the gate as part of the promotional process for the movie gives me hope that we can start seeing figures within the same year that they come out, so that way we can have a really nice collectible from a movie we really like or a blockbuster that we were really anticipating within the same year. And so I'm very excited to see. I'm not saying this is going to come out this year, but I go back to the Captain America Brave New World figure. That Anthony Mackie head sculpt was great. That figure came out and just was able to come out within the same calendar year. I thought that was really, really cool. Now, again, I think that that was a special circumstance because that movie had gotten its release date pushed back multiple times. And so that's where that comes from. We're going to see Doomsday later on. That release date's been pushed back, but I think they're kind of keeping everything under the vest so that way they are close to the vest, so that way they don't give away spoilers with costumes, with outfits, all that different stuff. But this Supergirl figure looks really good. I really love the jacket. Again, very Star-Lord-esque. I really think it looks good. I'm hoping this movie is good, and I'm hoping it does well, and you get Crypto going there. Again, I love the in-flight look for this figure as well. And I'm personally excited for it. I love the color scheme. I love how the brightness of Superman, the brightness of the Supergirl suit. And I'm not saying this is something that I'm going to pick up, but if I do like the movie, I could definitely see me adding this to the collection. And I love the Slurpee cup, by the way. That's really cool. But I definitely think that this is one that makes total sense to be coming out right now or pre-ordered right now. And it's one that I think that even if people don't love the movie, I still think they probably want a Supergirl on their shelf. So again, we'll see what else we get, but we see it with the promotional material. We're getting a lot of Supergirl, and we're getting a lot of Lobo, Jason Momoa's Lobo, which again, they're really trying to push this to sell a lot of toys, sell a lot of merchandise. You're kind of getting the best of both worlds. You're getting the kind of bright colors of the Supergirl suit, and now you're getting Lobo with Jason Momoa. You're getting that Jason Momoa head sculpt. I think this looks really good too. I mean, I'm not as excited for this character. I'd rather have the Supergirl, oddly enough. But when else are you going to get a Lobo figure? That's the thing you got to kind of ask yourself when you're thinking about pre-ordering these figures. And you can kind of see the different, kind of the default base there. But it looks really good. Body proportions look great. The head sculpt looks good. And this is kind of just fun because the movie hasn't come out. All we got to go based on is the trailers and the promotional images and material from the movie. And the fact that we're getting this right now and we're getting to get hyped for it, and it wasn't limited. It wasn't anything that like you had to get this week or you're not going to get it. You get time to think about it if you want it. You get to go see the movie, and then you're like, man, I hope there's like some really good collectibles for this movie. Boom, and there's already a pre-order. Again, you're still going to have to wait a little bit for it, but the fact that you're able to see it before the movie even comes out, I think is really, really cool. And I think this Lobo looks good. I mean, I don't think it's like a must-have for me personally, but it's definitely one that I think looks good and I think is fun for the promotion of the Supergirl movie. And you can kind of see this base a little bit closer here. That looks really nice. Separate rolling eyeballs, of course. You got to have that. And yeah, we got some detailed stuff. Sorry, my computer's going a little slow. Genuine leather vest, highly detailed and screen accurate costume. So again, we'll see what happens. But when you watch a trailer, after you see a trailer, you automatically, I don't know, if you're like me, you automatically go and see if there's like t-shirts, posters, merchandise for the movie. And a lot of times with these movies, we usually get Hasbro, we usually get McFarlane, we usually get Legos, we get stuff like that, which is really cool. But the fact that now we're going to be able to pre-order 1/6 scale stuff as the hype for the movie's going on, I think is a big win for Hot Toys, and one that I hope continues to happen. And I hope they can turn the production around quicker, which is a big ask. But that way we can kind of get the figure in while the movie is still fresh and the movie is still being talked about. That would be really, really cool to me, but time will only tell. And then finally, we're going to talk about the Punisher from the new series, the Punisher, the One Last Kill. I'm super hyped that we're getting a John Bernthal Punisher figure. I wish we could have got a Punisher from like season 1 and 2. I know we did. I just wish we could have got an updated one. I definitely think that we are going to get another Punisher that will be going with Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think they are purposely kind of holding back with what they're showing from that movie. You kind of saw with the Marvel Legends, we're going to get, spoiler alert if you don't know anything about anything, I'll give you a little bit of time. But we've seen that with the Marvel Legends, that there will be a Hulk figure, so we can assume that the Hulk will be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. We're seeing a lot of talk about when the next trailer is going to drop. By the time you see this video, the trailer could be out there, the second one. So I definitely think that we are going to get back-to-back Punishers. We kind of saw that with Daredevil. We got the Daredevil from the series with the red suit, and then we got the one from season 2. Now we're getting the Punisher. This was kind of like a movie, Disney Plus movie, kind of like a special, you could say. And I think this looks amazing. For me, this is a must-have. I wanted, even though it's the beard, and I wasn't, I preferred the Punisher that we got to see in season 2 of Daredevil, the Punisher series, but this is still a character that I just desperately want in the collection, and I'm very excited to be putting him into the collection. Very excited for this figure, really, but I definitely see us getting another Punisher announcement to go along with Spider-Man Brand New Day, because I don't think that the Punisher is going to be like second billing in that movie, even though that's how it's being promoted. I definitely think that he's going to be in it enough to warrant another announcement, and plus Hot Toys is going to try to make as many figures from Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's just a money machine. Spider-Man Hot Toys are just big time. And Avengers Doomsday, when that comes out, we'll probably get another if Spider-Man's in it. If he's not in it, there's rumors that he's not, there's rumors that he could be. We'll see. But regardless, I think we're going to get a lot of figures announced for Marvel towards the end of the year, and if it's Spider-Man or if it's even related to Spider-Man, you can count on getting a lot. And I just think this figure looks amazing. Please let me know what you think in the comments below about this figure, because I'm very excited for it. I think the John Bernthal sculpt looks absolutely incredible, and I'm just a huge fan of the way this figure looks. I think it looks really good. It looks really solid, and I just love the leather jacket. I love the t-shirt. I love the skull. I love the head sculpt. I love the weapons that come with it. It's just a really accurate look for this character from this version of the Punisher, and one that I'm very excited to add to the collection. So overall, I think this is a really exciting thing that I'm seeing Hot Toys do, and I definitely could see this trend continuing. I definitely see them continuing to try to push the limits on how fast they can get stuff out, how quick production can happen. And again, when you have access to a lot of these promotional materials, you're able to get started on these figures a lot faster than you normally would, especially if you already have access and contracts written up for actor likeness and all that different stuff. So I definitely could see them continuing to do this with companies like InArt and Caustic Plastic, all these other companies that are kind of even Sideshow. I think that Hot Toys is really trying to plant their flag into the ground of being the company that is currently promoting big blockbuster movies with their Hot Toys collectibles. And so what I'm seeing so far is a really interesting trend, and one that I definitely think continues. Let me know in the comments below what you think about that trend. Let me know in the comments below which figures that we talked about today that you would really want to be putting on your pre-order list, or what you plan on picking up. Again, this is definitely something that I think they're wanting to do so they can ramp up more and more pre-orders, and also it helps their partners out that sell the pre-orders like Sideshow to get hyped for the movie and to get those pre-orders in a little bit quicker. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you stick around for the next video, and hit that subscribe button on your way out, and the like button if you wouldn't mind. It would help out the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.